Today I have been feeling really inspired because I've been seeing these shirred tops everywhere. I'm sure you've seen them too. They are so cute, and sometimes they have matching shorts, sometimes they have a skirt, but I've been really interested in making the top and I have the perfect fabric for it. Let me show you. So I have this striped, first of all, I got a camera. I'm so excited. I got the Sony ZV-1. I got it like 2 days ago and I set it up yesterday, and today is my first day filming on it and I feel so professional. It's so cool. I got a whole like kit with the tripod, and it came with this little bag, and it came with this little microphone. If you're interested in the one I got, I'll link it in the description. So I'm really excited, and I just hope that the video looks better. Hopefully the audio sounds okay. If it doesn't, I do apologize. I'm still like working out the kinks. Anyway, so I have this pink fabric that I've had for a while. I think I got it at Joann's during their during their end of life sale, but I can't remember for sure. I love the look of the striped fabric for the shirts vertically, because it like expands and contracts based on how it like fits your body. So I really want to try this. I am going out on Friday. It's my friend's birthday, so hopefully I can make a shirt for this outing. I think that like it shouldn't be that hard. And I also recently got this like hold on. Oh my god, I'm a real YouTuber. So this is the kind of thread that you need for shirring. The first thing I need to do is cut the pieces out. Well, actually first I'm gonna measure. Okay, so I'm standing here. By the way, I hope you like my shirt. I made it. It's the Isla top by Tiana's Closet. It's a free pattern, which I mentioned in my 10 free patterns for spring video. I think it's so cute. I've just filmed a video of me making this shirt, so if you're interested, make sure to keep an eye out for that video. It's either gonna be the next one or the one after. Anyway, I'm getting really distracted. So let's just measure. I think I want the neck to be like here and then go down to my pants, which is 16 inches. And then the bust is about 35. So with the length being 16 and my bust being 35, I'm gonna add 10 inches to my bust and then divide that by 2, which is 22 and a half. I hope that made sense. So just to reiterate this so that way it makes sense, I'm measuring my bust and dividing it by 2, so I have half for the front piece and half for the back piece. And then to each panel, I'm adding 5 inches, so that way the fabric has room to shrink when we shir it. And then for the length of the top, I'm just measuring from where I want it to start to where I want it to end. I'm adding 2 inches, so that way I have room to hem the top and bottom. So now that I have both of my rectangles, I'm going to do the armholes. So I'm gonna match up the neckline, just like this, and fold it in half. This is gonna allow me to cut all 4 at the same time. So the armhole doesn't have to be perfect, but I am gonna measure the distance from the top of my shoulder to the bottom of my arm, like the middle of my armpit, just so I know how long this curve needs to be. Here, right to here, so that's 8 inches. So I know that I have to make my curve an approximately 8-inch curve. So this is my 8 inches, and I'm just gonna kind of eyeball this. And I'm gonna go from here to here. I'm just gonna do like, I don't know, like that. Measure once, cut twice, guys. No, wait. Measure twice, cut once. Cut this. Now I'm gonna do some marking to see where I wanna do the shirring. For this part, I'm gonna be using this pen that disappears with heat, and I think this is the best bet for making sure that I can see my lines, because it's going to be a lot of lines. It's going to be a lot of shirring that we're going to do. And I also want to be mindful of the fact that I'm going to start with the same measurements on the front and the back, so that way the shirring matches up as well as possible. I really like these because you can get a good right angle and they're see-through, so if you needed to start like here, you could see this line through it. So I'm going to start here and make sure that my stripe is matching up too. What I'm doing here is I started at the top and I went half an inch, half an inch, half an inch, and then I skipped an inch. Then I went 3, so I went from the inch, I did 2 more at half an inch, and then I skipped another inch, and now I'm gonna just continue with that pattern. So 1/2 inch, and then another 1/2 inch, and then I'm skipping to a full inch. And I'm just gonna do that all the way down. Once I got to the bottom here, I think I'm gonna stop about here. I'm gonna just make this arbitrary line, and we'll come back. I'm gonna start at the top and make my way down so that way I can, you know, hold it up to my body and see how much of this little peplum I wanna have. So at this stage, I'm gonna do this again, but like over here, so that way I can get a right angle when I go across. So I'm just gonna make sure that there's a little bit of distance. So at this point, I'm gonna just make horizontal lines going across the whole thing. I did 7 sets of 3 lines, if that helps you for reference. But now I'm gonna do it on the other piece, and I'll come back once they're both done. Okay, so the hair had to go up because I don't know if you can see by my shine, but it's really hot. I put my lines on both, and there is like 1/2 inch difference at the bottom, but I think I'm just gonna keep going and worry about that later. So just to be honest here, I'm gonna set up my machine, and I think for this I'm gonna do white thread, but let's just look at the pink options as well. Okay, so this is a pink that's too purple. This pink is meh. If I were to do a pink, I would do one that matches this, but I don't think I have one. Here, this is kind of matching. Maybe I'll do a few tests. I'm gonna test this one, and I'm gonna test the white. I'm gonna load the bobbin now, so let me show you how to do that. You're gonna need an empty bobbin that goes with your machine. I just ordered these online. I can link these below. And then I got this at Hobby Lobby. I'll link the Hobby Lobby one, but I'll also link one that you can order. And this was just like the thinnest thread they had. When you load things like this, it's always good to have a little container, so that way this doesn't go rogue and roll crazy. So the way that I'm gonna load this bobbin is just like a normal one. I'm gonna take the end and put it through the top, just like that. And then I'm gonna just wrap. Usually this would just be on your machine, but because we don't want it to be like super tight or anything, we wanna just do it by hand. I've never used elastic thread in my bobbin before, so I'm excited to try it, but I also have seen that it does run out really quick. So I'm gonna load 3 just to start and see how that goes, and I will let you know. But if you only have one available, you could just rewind it every once in a while. So while I was watching the video, I learned that I don't think you should pull it at all when you wind it. You want to just leave it nice and loose. So just, you know, letting it be in its natural state as you wind it is the best way. So she cuts this little tail here to make sure it doesn't interfere. This is my machine. It's the Singer Heavy Duty, and I think this is a great machine if you're looking to start sewing. I'm gonna show you how to load the bobbin. Everything is pretty much as normal as when you would regularly sew, but there are only a few things that you should look out for. So put the bobbin in here, and then instead of just like loading it like normal, you're gonna hold your finger down so that way it doesn't come off, and then you're gonna just make sure that it's in there the way that it should be. And then we're gonna load our top thread as we normally would. Get that on there, and then hold my thread, move my needle, and pull the elastic through. So just make sure that you get this elastic all the way through, just like that, and then close it up. So that is how you load your machine. Now let's do a test. I'm just gonna do a tiny test with my little scrap. Just let this machine sew. They recommend a 3.5 length or 4. I'm gonna start with 3.5 because that's what they said works for them. Just letting it sew. Okay. It worked! Okay, let's do 2 more just to see like what it's gonna look like. So when I'm sewing my next one, I'm not gonna pull it more than just like flat. I'm not gonna push it through or anything. I'm just gonna hold it open. Oh my god, that is not my best work for sure. You could also probably do like alternating if you did a white top or a light colored top or something that where the threads would really show up. You could do like three orange, 3 purple, 3 pink. That's a really cool idea. Maybe I'll do that for my next top if this one actually works. But I'm gonna start sewing all these lines. Okay, let's start. So I just finished my first row and this is really making me want to chain stitch, so I think I'm gonna just go for it and do them in a row back to back just to streamline the process. So I've done 9 so far on each one. I'm doing them in the chain, so that's 18, and I just ran out of my first bobbin. So I think it's gonna take me about 2.5. So now I'm gonna switch the bobbin and keep going. It's honestly so much easier than I thought it was gonna be with the shirring. I'm having a great time. It's so easy. And it's just really nice. So I'm halfway, maybe a little bit under halfway. So let's keep going. So I'm gonna undo one because it was in the wrong spot. I just wanted to let you guys know a tip is when you're pulling out the thread, pull the elastic because it seems to come out a lot easier than the thread. Like look, this is me just pulling and it literally just comes out. So like I'm just gonna tear it, like I'm gonna break it and then this piece, it just comes right out. Like super duper easy, a lot easier than pulling it from the thread. So if you do end up having to take one out, you can do it like this. And I'm thinking like if you were to run out of elastic in the middle of a stitch, I would probably go back and remove it and do it again, just so that way you have a string of elastic that goes all the way from one end to the other. I think that that would probably be more effective than one that you stopped and started in the middle of it. Not to say that that's gonna mess up your entire garment, but if you wanna be super thorough, that's what I would do. But I'm almost done and I'm gonna come back when they're done. Here's a little update. Woo! Okay, I did it! So I shirred it and it's super stretchy now. So the next thing I'm gonna do is cut the 2 pieces apart. I do think the chaining was a good idea. So if you are gonna do this, I would chain it. And then I was just going like looping around and going back and looping around and going back instead of cutting it after each one, which I think probably saved a lot of time. So as you can see, they're kind of looped. And just free them, separate them. So the next step is gonna be to attach the sides. And I think that I'm gonna serge them because I do have a serger and the thread is pink right now, so I'm like, it's kind of a sign that I should. But if you don't have a serger, you could do a zigzag stitch down the side or a straight stitch and a zigzag stitch or just a straight stitch. Really the choice is up to you, but I'm gonna serge it. Okay, here's me wearing it so far. I feel like a cupcake. I'm just gonna start by just marking like where I want the neck to be. I probably want it to be like right there. I'm gonna attach these 2 pieces to be like the straps from here to here. I'm not sure if the armhole is gonna be too small, but if it is, I'll just take it down a little bit. Sorry, if you can hear my dog, I do apologize. He's going rogue. Yeah, so I'm gonna attach the straps where I marked. Okay, so this is it so far. It was really hard to get my head in, so I'm gonna take these back an inch, and these are really tight, so I'm gonna do like to here. I'm gonna mark it. I made this bigger and I made these bigger. That definitely helped. Now I'm a lot more comfortable in it. The next thing I'm gonna do is just trim the extra because there's like a little bit of extra here, and I kind of just want this a little bit more straight down and then back, but not too much. The neckline, you can see it's just like really a lot, and I definitely want to cut this down. Just gonna go like this, like where my neck ends. And then in the back, it's probably gonna need less. So I'm just gonna like, I don't know. It's all in the name of experimentation. I feel like it is really taking shape. The sleeves are looking good. The neckline I'm happy with. Here's the back. So the last thing I'm gonna do is just finish off these edges. It's done. I ended up finishing the edges with just a rolled hem, which I think might be the best method, but I'm thrilled with the outcome. I can't believe that we made this in one night. It's so cute, and I also want to make another one where it's a skirt with the stripes because I think that would be so cute. So, you know, I have to go fabric shopping, unfortunately. Anyway, I hope that my instructions were clear. If they're not, you can always comment below and ask me for guidance, and I will be sure to reply. That is it. If you liked this video, give me a like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And comment below what you're working on right now because I'd love to know, and I always find it so inspiring. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.